I think it's a safe bet to say that we're at least going to get one more entry into the Hunger Games series before Suzanne Collins puts it down for good. And while I'm down for whatever, personally, I would like it to be about the first quarter quell. The twist of the 25th Hunger Games was that the districts had to choose themselves which children they were going to send to be contestants in that year's games. Because on top of the fact that that's agonizing, they're making communities pick which of their children they're going to send to go fight and die for the entertainment of their ruling class. And making her readers suffer seems to be a thing she's really going for in the last two books especially. But also, I think it's just a really interesting point for a story to take place within that timeline. To know by this point the timeline should be about 33, and I think there's a lot of opportunities of what they could do with him there. I don't know when he became president, but we would either have a chance to see him when he's on the verge of attaining total power, or at least his early years when he just recently got it. And from a storytelling perspective, there's so much you can play with there. Was he popular and well received by the people of the Capitol, or did he have to use brute force to put them in line? Did he make any significant changes from the previous president? Did he make any mistakes because he overestimated himself and didn't have enough experience? Was there an opposing political figure that he had to fight for the crown? Were the ruling families of the Capitol split over who to support? He probably had to do a lot of purges. Knowing him, he might have just did some purges for fun. Maybe we get to see the rift between him and Tigris grow. And I think we can see all of this without making him the main character again. The story could revolve around a district kid or maybe even a young Plutarch. I don't know how old he is by this point, but maybe this could be the story where we see him become radicalized against the Capitol. And I can't quite fully formulate the thought in my head, so work with me on this one, but I can vaguely make out some interesting connection between the fact that Plutarch's family bird is the eagle, which is typically used to represent America. The Hunger Games series is littered with analogies to America, and this game will be a game where they're voting on who the victims are going to be. It could potentially take place during an election or a sham election that we as the readers already know ends with the worst person possible getting power. And then connecting that to what's going on in the real world, I don't know, I see pieces here. Let me know what you think, but I see something.